Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to day 13 of this 30 Days of Mindfulness series. So, something really central to cultivating meditation and mindfulness is inviting a non interference with direct experience as it is to mind, right? So, this is a great way to start a sitting practice. So maybe even right now, as you're just listening to me, finding ways that you can begin to settle into your experience as you're listening to me just as you are right now, right? Not having to be anybody in particular, as we often have to do in our days, but actually just kind of disengaging from that state of mind, the becoming state of mind, and redirecting into the direct experience of embodied awareness, of actually just being present. Because there's, just as there's an enormous world out there, there's also a vast inner world that we begin to tap into in meditation practice. And using a noting technique, like I've been doing for the last few days, this simple practice of noting thinking when the mind is thinking, using this silent noting in the mind, noticing sensations in the body, like the rising and falling of the chest. What it can do is to actually help us disengage from normal patterns of mind and to repivot towards the view of just being aware of experience, not judging anything, not wishing it was any other way, although we certainly might. But in those moments, we're trying to encourage or invoke that attitude of just, right now, I'm just chilling. I'm going to just directly sit with this experience as it is. And one thing that's helpful in this noting practice is to drop into the direct experience of things like felt emotions that might be present, as opposed to going into the name or the concept about them, like this is my anxiety or this is my stress or whatever it is. Actually using the noting in a different way to just tap into what is your direct experience of that, right? Maybe there's thinking that's associated, so you just know there's some thinking happening. There's some tension. There's a pushing or a pulling. I hope this makes sense, right? So we're just using very simple words to just note the direct experience of something rather than the concept of it. And what this can help do over time is actually, even though it's kind of a mental noting process, is it encourages the mind to be more interested into what is actually happening in the body, right? Continually just noting, coming back to direct experience can allow us to begin to bring to mind, slowly bring together parts of the body which may have been annexed from experience, which may have been subconsciously pushed away or avoided. Oftentimes there are emotions beneath the surface that actually need to sometimes be felt and slowly, brought into our direct awareness. This can be a deep healing process that occurs slowly over time. And each time we sit, it helps to just slowly open the door to that process a little bit more. So we'll try this and sit for about 10 minutes. And I'll just share some more brief reflection at the end. So wherever you're sitting right now and just finding your own upright posture. And just beginning by inviting a sense of ease into your body. And allowing the breath to be natural and the shoulders to relax around this upright spine. And if it's comfortable, you can close your eyes or you can rest them in a soft gaze in front of you. So to begin, just noticing the gentle rhythm of breath, which is already happening in your direct experience. Breathing in air from the open space around you, and releasing what's not needed back out into the world. Softening the muscles of the forehead, of the face, and the jaw. And keeping this upright posture of the back to support the body as it continually softens. Using the rhythm of the out-breath to soften down through the shoulders, just noticing whatever's in the shoulders and releasing what's not needed. And scanning downwards through the chest, the abdomen and the lower belly, allowing each out-breath to release unnecessary tension held there. And feeling down into the seat and the sit bones and the legs. Just resting your awareness for a moment on this lower half of the body, which supports the torso and the head and the neck. And whenever the mind wanders, just simply noting thinking is happening. Now beginning to use the rhythm of the breath to settle the mind and to silently note to yourself rising on each inhalation and falling on each exhalation. Just using this silent verbal noting in the mind to stay with the full inhalation and the exhalation. Rising and falling. Whenever we notice the mind wandering, just noting thinking and coming back to the rising and falling. And now for these last few minutes of the meditation, beginning to be aware of what the emotional state of the body is, just however it is right now. Doesn't matter if it's pleasant or unpleasant, but beginning to just notice how it feels in the body. Is there a sense of lightness, heaviness, tension, sense of warmth, heat, coolness? Just beginning to notice direct sensations in your experience, which may be related to emotions in the physical body. Particularly spending some time in the belly, the abdomen, and the chest, where a lot of emotions are often felt. Just noticing what qualities, what physical qualities are present in your direct experience. And using a gentle noting to just notice them in your own mind. Allowing the gentle rhythm of the rising and falling of the breath to steady the mind. And for these last few seconds or so, just inviting in a sense of gratitude to yourself for taking the time to sit still and to practice. So thank you, as always, for taking the time to be still, to sit, and to try out this mental noting a little bit with me. I know it gets a little bit more, almost like intentional and nuanced when we start kind of naming various qualities in the body and intentionally looking for them. I think it can be really, really helpful though over time to actually intentionally invite awareness towards this aspect of experience though, because it often just gets overlooked in the busyness of a day-to-day life. Like, how am I actually feeling right now? What is it that I'm experiencing? So I would just like to encourage that for you for the next day or so, just to begin to use this kind of noting to every now and then, just when you have a moment, to just settle into experience and just to, quietly to yourself, obviously. You don't have to share this out loud to everybody, but just, kind of noticing how you're actually feeling this emotional world. This can really, over the long term, has been a really beneficial practice for me. and has been a way of turning towards parts of my experience that I've maybe wanted to shy away from, and has over time made me feel a lot more whole and balanced in my life. So again, I hope this was beneficial, and thanks for being here and taking the time to practice. See you next time.